We were up at the maintenance shop, and we were waiting for it to go off, and when it went off, it was like everybody was real happy for the first couple of seconds, and then after that, it's like, oh no, something's not right.
Kind of a hopeless person. I work on rockets, and I also tend to do them for fun, too. I've built several rockets. I've tried to send some to 150,000 feet. They're all microscopic compared to the ones we do here. We are at the Pacific Spaceport Complex, Alaska, and this is where we launch rockets, on the narrow cape of Kodiak Island.
Kodiak's out in the middle of nowhere. Alaska's nowhere, and Kodiak's even further out.
Here on the island, the primary industry is commercial fishing.
There is a huge fishing fleet here, and there's Coast Guard as well to support that fishing fleet.
It's pretty interesting to live and work on this type of equipment in this environment. We're a maritime community, and so it poses different challenges that you wouldn't see in a lot of other places. We support customer launches of vehicles where they deploy satellites and stuff like that. We are a relatively young range.
In the United States, we put a huge priority on safety. And even though the chances of a rocket hitting anything are astronomically small, we don't take any chances. And so one of the requirements we have when we launch rockets in the United States is you're not allowed to launch over land. And the advantage of Kodiak is we have the Pacific Ocean, the largest ocean in the world, right below us. And so this gives us one of the widest launch azimuths in the entire industry. So the weather closely resembles the Pacific Northwest up here, and we actually get fewer weather-related delays in either Vandenberg or Cape Canaveral because we rarely get lightning, which is actually one of the most common ways to scrub a mission. I mean, we don't get hurricanes ever.
Yeah, I was born here, and I guess I've never really experienced anything different. I remember as a kid, we would take field trips on the launch days that we knew about. We watched a couple of launches from here and always wanted to work here.
My family's been commercial fishermen for a very long time. Like, this boat is actually the same age as me, and I used to fish on a set net site. We'd only fish 2 or 3 days a week, so I had a fair amount of spare time. And that's actually how I first found out about here was I read a space encyclopedia from cover to cover. This happened to be one of the entries in there. I was like, wow, we have rocket launching facilities up here?
I grew up in Alaska, and so I was a little disappointed that we didn't have much beyond natural resource extraction. Looking around landscape, I was excited to find out that they were actually building this, someplace that would engender higher technology, engineering, something beyond cutting trees, catching fish, drilling for oil.
Alaska suffers from brain drain because there's not many opportunities in high-end technology fields. Doing resource extraction, there's only so many resources you can extract. Fishing, that's of course, always renewable, but it's a boom or bust there as well. Some years you have great years fishing, some years you have terrible years fishing. And not everyone wants to work in that area.
I'm the facilities manager, and I'm in charge of the maintenance crew. I've been the crane technician who has set the rockets on the stool with the live ordnance.
I work on the range instrumentation, so everything that communicates with the rocket.
I support the telemetry where I track satellites, flight safety where we verify our transmissions up to vehicles.
We have both communication facilities and we also have the preparation facilities for the rocket. Usually it's a 3-month process before we actually launch the rocket.
To make the launch happen, we have to spend at least 60-hour weeks. That's all the time away from the family.
We're a small team. It takes a great effort from all of us.
What appeals to me most about working on rockets, it's one of our biggest challenges. It's one of the hardest things to build. Rockets are extremely unforgiving of any mistakes. It's all normal stuff. People always think that it's some magical rocket technology, but it's all normal stuff that you might encounter in your everyday, just in a really specific application, and if anything goes wrong, everything usually goes wrong. my personal stuff, I'm always slowly increasing the complexity of what I'm doing. I'm slowly getting to bigger things, going higher, going faster.
So the explosion in 2014, we really didn't know what was going to happen. Could have been shut down because it cost too much to rebuild. If I lost my job, my family and I would have to move off island to find a better job. We were not working all the time or having to pick up 2 or 3 jobs.
These are complex projects, they're big, they don't always work. For even the best rockets in the world, they work 96% of the time.
And then when it exploded, all the siding had been ripped off of it. Same with the other 2 buildings, most of the siding had been ripped off of it.
You always have to keep a wider perspective. All that work that you just invested in this just went away. You learn from it and you use it to build up the next stuff you do. It's only a failure if you never learn anything.
The insurance company came through and we were able to rebuild, and now we've got a top-of-the-line facility. On most launches, the customers just sign their names on the rocket and that they're sending up, and on one particular one, they allowed the maintenance crew and sign their names on it as well and launched it up into space. I like the story of being able to say I've been up to space.
I watched Last Mission from the point, so it's beautiful. There's whales out in the ocean. You hear people talking on the communication nets. You hear the launch conductor going through the checklists. And you realize you're on the forefront of our technology endeavors. We're the spear that is going out and exploring the rest of the universe.
3, 2, 1.
I think putting up satellites and getting faster technology is going to be better for all of Alaska and all of the United States and the world.
Kodiak's just one small island on a pretty large ocean, and the Earth is just a small planet in a big universe. It's important to push our boundaries of exploration beyond our own island.